All right, welcome to our first episode of Uncut Phinatics, and today we've got Raffi on. He is from Triada. They've been in business for 14 years. They've got 5 employees, and they're just rocking over there in the MSP land. How you doing today, Raffi?
I'm doing well, Jamie. How are you?
Doing really well. We're excited to have you on. You've been a longtime partner with us, so we're excited to hear your thoughts on these questions, and we'll dive right in. So we always start out with the hot one, and what challenges have you faced with Phin? That can be with the platform, team, or service.
Yeah, when we were first introduced to Team Fin, it was very early on, and quite frankly, the product wasn't ready. There was just too many gaps in the solution, and they wanted to know what they were. They took the feedback, and quite frankly, months later, they came back and said, "Raffi, this sounds like someone you know. Raffi, want you to look at this again."
Yep.
Yeah, it had gotten a lot closer, had closed the gap, so it was very, very good. Yeah, any always challenges within a young company, and I guess, partly because of where I came from. I when I was working at Invesco, one of the things that I did was the private equity firm would come, part of the group would come to us and say, "Hey, can you vet this technology firm for us?" And so we review it purely from a market opportunity point of view. Would you buy this thing, this service? So I really like getting involved with emerging tech companies. So it's kind of a little bit in our DNA that's part of what we do. We try a lot of things and see if it sticks. And sometimes they are successful. Sometimes they're a little bumpy from the start. Almost all of them are bumpy from the start. But things worked out.
That's really cool. Thank you for sharing that. Happy to know that we at least came back to you because you've been an awesome partner to us. So it's really cool to see that you gave us some feedback and we were able to come back and say, hey, what about this now? And whatever now was good enough to at least get through some bumps at the start.
Yeah, look, I mean, especially when it comes to security awareness training, I think where there are really two major parts of the solution that is really key. One is the content, and the second is the delivery of that content. I think we were really focused on the content part of it for a long time, and so when we first looked at Finna and a couple others actually at the same around the same time, we were already using some of the more established channel ones, and they were okay. I think that's where it kind of left. It wasn't leaving us. Wasn't We weren't getting excited about what they were able to provide either from us or for our customers. And I think where Finn changed the game a little bit for us was that um, it became more hands off. It just became automatic, and that wasn't completely part of it. Was certainly in the beginning was that let's make it easy to onboard customers and do that, and that was always the difficulty with some of the other solutions. Um, Even though they had some of the content there, but then Finn came around with the content, and it just all came together.
That's awesome. Well, you already kind of answered my second question, which is why you chose Finn over some other providers. Do you have anything else that you would like to add to that? But yeah, like I said, you kind of already dove into that one.
Yeah, I think clearly they're focusing on making the lives of MSPs easier. That focus of Finn doing that has really made the difference for us. When we've looked at, and we still have one major client still stuck in one of our older systems, and the we're still kind of straddling that. It's such a pain is probably too strong a word. It's difficult to manage that one client there, uh, and we're always running into tricks and what have you. The difference with Finn has been super responsive when there are issues, which is key. Is super responsive when it comes to developing the product, moving forward. They've also been very smart about um, what to say no to. I think, which is, I think when you're a new vendor in the channel and you're talking to MSPs and you're like, you want to say yes to everything, and that's been really refreshing to actually someone say, yeah, interesting thought, not doing that right now. Let's circle back to that some time down the road, and it's very nice to see that, like, not just say, yeah, it's on the roadmap, and kick it down the road.
Absolutely. Yeah. So I think the question three is going to be really good for you since you've kind of seen us in really early stages when we really didn't have much going on and you were able to give some feedback that then developed the platform further. But since your time at Finn, how has Finn changed to make your life easier, your team's life easier as an MSP as a whole?
So, when it came to this stuff, when we onboarded new customers, um, it was almost an afterthought. Like, all right, oh shoot, we have to add this other service that we included as part of our contract. We need to put this together, and then we start rolling that out and making the announcements. We don't do that anymore. It's we once we set up a client on we onboard a client that has Office 365. We connect it to Fin, and then Fin just runs with it. It's all of our templates are in there, all our notifications are in there. The client has already gotten a notice from us and their main from their point of contact saying that this is what's happening. You're also going to get this thing, and then it just rolls it out. And not only that, that's just the beginning part of it. The next is when new employees come on board. When new employees come on board, we don't have to worry about it. When my techs create tickets, create accounts, they don't have to go into yet another system to set up their security awareness training. They're just focused on getting this employee to start working. But now we see it. Okay, so the employee is onboarded today. He's got this set up. A day later, because that's how we've said it, a day later, they get the email saying, "Hey, you've been enrolled in the security awareness training. Please complete these next tasks." And the other part of it was the fact that it's continuous, where the model prior to using Fin was uh, giant once a year training program
Right.
with little vignettes along the way to kind of keep it refreshed. Now it's topics at the cadence that we and the client agree to, uh, just sent out as sometimes we do it really forcefully, that once a week they're getting something in the beginning until they get them up to speed, or others that just want to do a more slow roll and do it once a month or once every 3 weeks. So that that tailoring plus making it completely fairly completely automated has been really big for us.
Awesome. Thanks, Raffi. Um, Question four is how would you describe your onboarding experience? And you're going to have an interesting one because when you came on, I think I was still in partner success. I think we were a much smaller company, and now we have a full partner success team, and Mary and Andrew are over there running that shop. So I think you have a much different onboarding experience. But how was it back then? How did I do?
You screwed up, man. No, you were, I think, really new
I
to
was. Yeah,
when you
I was
started
hire number
onboarding them.
three, and when I came on, I basically was running partner success, marketing, and I was supporting with sales because we were such a small team. So
Yeah,
they were like, "Hey, can you start onboarding
yeah,
people?" I was like, "Yeah, I can. I can do that. I just gotta be nice to them and get them on the platform, right?"
yeah. I think it's partly it's tantamount to the simplicity of how the platform is laid out. It's not a complex UI. It's very um, minimalistic. Almost sounds negative, but it's got enough dials and knobs that you need and no more as well. But it's not confusing where you need to jump in and out of different places. So I think the onboarding part, and I almost don't remember
Good.
that much of it, but I just know from where our experience with the platform now, it's just easy. It's so simple and easy to use, um, to the point that I don't have to deal with it anymore. It's something that I can have my tier one techs to manage as well. Um, from an experience dealing with you guys as a company has been great. I mean, it's been uh, Finn is one of the, besides having awesome T-shirts, and I encourage anybody to grab a T-shirt because they're always changing. Um, the Finn has always had a culture of being extremely transparent, and they'll tell you where you guys suck, and they'll tell where you are really shining, and that's been super super awesome. They own their mistakes, they fix them, they move on. It's really nice. Which is unusual for, I think, a young company. I think like the leadership team is definitely mature beyond their years.
Mm.
You know,
Yeah.
uh,
Yeah.
life vest wearing
Exactly.
despite that.
Yes, exactly. We have a lot of fun over here, but I think you hit the nail on the head where transparency. I mean, that's the whole point of what we're doing today is we want to get transparent feedback from our partners, and that kind of leads into our final question. And we try to be as transparent as we can about what we're working on, what's coming up. What features, updates, or changes are you excited about or looking for in Fin moving forward?
Um, we're always, we take some we're provide some feedback with the an advisory council. And it's interesting because I'm in a group with some pretty heavy hitters in there that are, you know, bigger MSPs, more established MSPs. We're just a little guy swimming in a small pool in New York City. So it's interesting hearing what their challenges are with regards to, particularly on phishing simulation and that sort of thing. And so we're interested in hearing how they are doing what they're doing and the struggles they're having, because it ends up becoming where, Fin works really well for us at the small scale, but it's working really well for them at the larger scale as well. So it gives us some good guidance, because that's not always the case with certain vendor products where you start here and you don't have that scale. So we're looking forward to being able to, and we already see that with the fact that you have a lot of this automated onboarding, structured campaigns, whether it's training campaigns or phishing campaigns. All of that is really part of being able to scale well. And so, we're scaling in a different way rather than throwing bodies at things. We're trying to be, eat our own dog food in a way. We want to help clients embrace, digital transformation, whatever you want to call it, being more automated, being more mindful of using technology to move business forward. But MSPs have a tendency of not doing that themselves, and that's where Fin is allowing us to do that from a scalability point of view for this small, this one piece of a, albeit important piece of the structure. We all know the requirements that are pushing more and more companies towards awareness training. And it's interesting. I got an email from one of the CEOs of one of our larger investment clients that he sent out to his entire team after another, I think, a recent government breach that was breached due to a phishing event. Somebody in one of the departments had gotten phished and sent this out. He sent this blast out to the entire company. He goes, this is why Raffi sends out these security awareness trainings. They should be on this program. So that was like, okay, it's getting to the right people, and it's clearly making sense for folks.
Absolutely. Well, those are our 5 questions for today. I really thank you for coming on. Before we go, the whole thing about this was transparency. So is there anything good, bad, or ugly that you want to share before we jump off and end the call?
Besides your mustache, no. I would say no.
Is that
Everything
good, bad, or
everything is.
ugly? Which one is that?
I'll let you decide that answer. The number of mustaches being grown by your generation is quite disturbing to me.
Hey,
And
I will say I've had it for almost 2 years now, so I was ahead of the curve.
yes, you
But
are. For a baby face, you're able to grow facial hair. I'm impressed. I'm impressed.
you know, I appreciate that. I'm gonna grow into it well. Well, I appreciate you
All
have
good.
coming on, Rafi. It was really fun today and getting your feedback, and we'll chat soon.
Sounds
Bye.
great. Thanks, Jamie. Cheers.